Two rivers and a mountain border our land. South Marlborough is a place of stunning vistas and strong community. From the heights of the majestic Mount Tapuai or Buanuku, down the Awateri and Waiotoa rivers to the coast. Let us take you off the grid on an adventure to discover South Marlborough. Munga Awa Moana. Kia ora. I'm Lee Griggs, an off-the-grid adventurer. I'm lucky enough to live where I can step out of the back door and into an adventure playground. In this series, we will meet local characters and find hidden gems. Come with me to explore the untapped potential of South Marlborough, where there truly is something for everyone.
We've been here in Seddon for 32 years in the Cosy Corner. We wanted to make something a wee bit more specialised compared to most other people. So we started our homemade pies, but now we do a mussel pie, seafood pie. We do a scallop pie as well, bacon and egg with cheese and tomato, steak and mushroom, steak and cheese, mince and cheese, chicken and mushroom, peppered steak, and steak and mushroom, I can't remember. There's heaps anyway, and we make our own sausage rolls. People come into the bar at night, they're all pretty mature people, most of them, and you have the odd rat bag. We do try and support most local sports people in our community. We've got a brilliant team of staff. You can't do it on your own. You've got to have good team members.
Kia ora, my name's Angus Moore. We're just here at the Flaxbourn Shears, the AMP show 2021, and we've just finished our shearing competition for the day. My wife and I live in Seddon, and we run a shearing services business. We service farms from Clarence in the south, Waiotoa, to Sananad in the northwest, and then we go out into the Marlborough Sounds. We basically cover the area that I grew up in. The Flaxbourn area is one of the first places for sheep to be in the country.
Local ag shows showcase the heart and soul of rural areas. At the Flaxbourn show, you'll find the whole community celebrating our farming roots.
So today's competition is just a shearing competition. There's lots of competitions all over New Zealand. And we're obviously at an AMP show, so it's good to show the agricultural and pastoral side of New Zealand to people who are not necessarily involved at all with it. And a really important part of that is showcasing shearing and showing people that shearing is about animal health and the welfare of the sheep and looking after that side of it.
The move from traditional sheep and beef farming and the rise of viticulture means we are now dependent on workers in the recognised seasonal employer program. This has brought our South Pacific neighbours closer and the opportunity for our communities to connect.
Hi, I'm Vandermeelen from Entrepreneurial Women with Purpose. We started Entrepreneurial Women with Purpose last year, and that was really about educating, empowering and investing into women all across New Zealand and extending that also out to the Pacific with our Impact Education program. Everything that we do is underpinned by 5 of the UN Sustainable Development Goals, which are quality education, gender equality, good health and well-being, partnerships to enable and really achieve those goals and decent work and economic growth. And growing your own food is a really important part of the journey, and you guys are all such earth-based people, and I feel like we also have a lot to learn from you culturally about how you actually grow food and the food that is your natural day-to-day nutrition in the islands. The thing that I'm most excited about at the moment is our Impact Education program, where we are supporting a group of women who are here in Marlborough under the RSC scheme, the Regional Seasonal Employment Scheme hosted by MFAT and MBIE, and really enabling them with the education of entrepreneurship and leadership to be able to support them when they do return home to Vanuatu next year, that we are enabling them to create business opportunities for the future.
Village to Village came about when Tracy, Alex and I got the opportunity to work as mentors on the Entrepreneurial Women with Purpose Impact Education program in 2020. After many conversations, we worked alongside 7 amazing RSC workers, mentoring them and helping them to work towards their goals of running their own businesses. During this time, we had many conversations around the need to do a bit more with RSC workers. They come here to work, but what else do they do? So we decided to set about setting up the trust so that we could support them through micro-enterprise and community village funds.
The way we've designed this trust is a sponsorship model. So one sponsorship has many impacts. It impacts the individual, the family and the community. So within one sponsorship of an RSC worker or of the trust, we are making a ripple effect through the Pacific Islands. That ripple effect also comes back to Marlborough. It comes back to us through our reputation as an employer and as a region.
In 2016, my mother Jill and I set up a business called Kiwi Clean Living, distributing cook stoves across the Pacific. Since then, we have distributed 200 cook stoves ranging from the Kiribati, Fiji, Vanuatu, Solomons, Tonga and Samoa, helping women and children to get away from cooking over open fires. Friends of ours in Lesotho, Africa had designed a cook stove to aid women across Africa to stop cooking on open fires. It became apparent to us 49% of families across the Pacific still cook on open fires. Since then, we have teamed up with other businesses locally here in Marlborough to help work with the RSC women while they're here, working in the vineyards to learn about cooking over open fires and the health effects from it. We've also been covering nutrition and business education. So the women are very keen to take home a cook stove, and I feel quite excited about that, because knowing the effects that cooking on an open fire has on your health and the time it takes to cook on open fires, by having one of these cook stoves back home with you, you're going to have no smoke blowing in your faces. You're going to be able to cook your meals in a very short amount of times without having to harvest all that wood that you do and sit around that smoky fire inhaling all that smoke. So it'll leave time for you to be able to go and further your education or work on your businesses and spend time with your families, which I just think is a very, very exciting thing.
The open fire is we use another kitchen like outside to make an open fire, but for the cooking stove, it's fire, but we can still put it inside because it doesn't give smoke.
Hey, I'm Mandy Harris, chef and nutritionist. I'm super excited to be working with Sarah with Kiwi Clean Living and the ladies from Vanuatu and the work that we can do with them in these countries. There's so much we can do with food. It excites me a lot because it's so simple. Teaching people and educating people and supporting people to be able to move back to their cultural foods, their local foods, not only to have supply of it, but to know how to produce it, to know how to cook it, and to know how to use it effectively to benefit their health. So that's a massive part of what I do.
The Village to Village Charitable Trust is about giving back. RSE workers come to New Zealand every year to work in our viticulture and horticultural industries, and we just wanted to see how we could change things up a bit so that we could be giving back as a community. So the trust is really about communities supporting communities.